Even with a pandemic raging through the world and with so much
Yes,
suffering and death around us, why are people
yes.
still not seeking a way out of this suffering?
Yeah, it's a good question. The Buddha has also said the same thing. Shall I say it? Kinnu haso kimanando nityang pajjalite sato andhakarena onaddo adipan no gavesata. Kinnu haso means what laugh, what mona hinavadda. Kinnu haso can mona hinavadda. What laughing? Kim Anando, Kim Anando means mana satutakda. What happiness, what love. Nityam pajjalite sato satvya. Nityam nityam nirantarem pajjalite. Dharami means manusya. And that is same whole time they are having
Thank
hunger
you.
or thirst or something they need all the time. If they don't get it, they are in trouble. So nitya means nityam, nirantarema, pajjalite means they are burning and taranala, but they are frustrated all the time until they get what they want. Andhakarena onaddu. One who is going about in darkness, padipan no gavesata. Why don't they look for a light? Now, what is the andhakarya? It is called moha andhakarya. It means ignorance. It is pure ignorance that people don't understand the gravity of what they are having. And Padipano Gavesita, why don't they look for wisdom? They are completely blinded by ignorance. So they must look for wisdom. Why don't they? Padipa means Pradipya, can light it up. So that's exactly what you are asking me. And the Buddha has said that 2,500 years ago, and there was no coronavirus at the time. People were quite comfortable and happy compared to now. So it's the way with the samsara. So that's why the Buddha said, even for the snap of a finger, I don't recommend samsara. Get out of the place, the sooner the better. Because life after life, it is the same story. Now you are a doctor, then you will die, and then next birth you will be born again. Don't know where you are born, no. Your parents were in a gamak, were in a ratak, were in a lokya. And then again it will be, you are so ignorant, you have to go to school to learn your ABCD, and again pass all the exams, and again become a doctor and go through the whole gamut of suffering, and then finally end up with death and leaving all the things that you have acquired during your lifetime, including your degrees. So now, as it is, even without corona, it is bad enough. So, life after life, we have continuously gone through this same mill, and we are still not understanding the gravity of it, and that there is a possibility to get out of this. So now the situation is very clear. The Buddha came into this world and proclaimed the Eightfold Path. That is the fourth noble truth. The Dukkha Satya, Samudaya, Nirodha, Marga Satya, Marga. He has given us the Marga, the path. If you follow the path, and you will definitely end up getting out of this samsara. So that's what the Buddhas are born for. Before the Buddha, nobody knew how to get out of samsara. They thought that once you get into Brahma world, and they meditated so long, so hard, a whole lifetime, and they got into jhana, and they thought that that is the end of suffering, that Brahma is one who created the world, and then you become one with the Brahma, and you are there forever. But the Buddha blasted that theory and said, no, no, Brahma also will die, and they all, after they have finished, exhausted their good karma, they will die, and the lifespan is over, just like we die, and then they'll be born again and again into the system. So, there's nobody who ever understood how to get out of this continuous birth and death, birth and death. So, if you follow this path, that's what the Buddha recommended. So that's why we are emphasizing on this path. So the sooner you get into the path and you don't deviate from the path even for a moment, throughout your life it's a practice, it's a way of living, and then you finally end up with Magga Pala. If you go the Magga, there's Pala. Magga is the eightfold path. Pala is Sotapatti, Sakadagaya, Nagami, Arhat. The way out of samsara. So I think it's a very appropriate question at this time, though it was relevant to everybody, but nobody understood because of their moha andakara, ignorance. If they are ignorant, like animals, they don't understand karma and rebirth, so they are ignorant, they live for the day, they do all they eat and they have their progeny and they look after their families and even their nests and houses they build. Even the animals, even the Dimya has a Dimikurva, so they all know how to build houses, they all know how to look after their progeny. That's the animal instinct. But it's the Buddha and the Arahant who has give up all that animal instincts, and then they come beyond that. They leave house and home, and they develop their mind to such an extent. We all know, including the scientists know, that our minds our brains are not developed. That is only a fraction of the brain that is developed. Whereas those great sages, the Buddha and the Arahant, they developed the highest potential of the mind. The mind became so strong that they could overcome the body. So they are not under the law of the body. The body is under the mind. So the mind has to do what the body has to say. And the mind is so developed, so refined, and so full of wisdom that the body conforms to that. Okay? So that was the discovery of the Buddha. Okay?
During this COVID pandemic time, what advice can you give us to make our lives easy and stress-free?
Well, there is nothing you can do about it. That same thing the Buddha said, I think I must have said it before, when Buddha says there are to King Kosala, there are 4 messengers coming from all 4 sides, bringing the same message, that there's a huge landmass and coming rolling along and killing everybody in its way, and very soon it will come upon you. Then the Buddha said this. King said, what can I do? Not all my army, not all my power can stop it. What I can do is give up my luxuries and think of my next world. Think of all the good I can do during this little time left, so I can at least, death is for sure, but at least you carry away some good deed, good things that you have accumulated, the wholesome goodness that you have had, you have created in this world, is all that is left for you to go. Everything else will be destroyed, including your entire kingdom. So the Buddha said, it is nothing but old age and sickness, death. So old age and death is imminent, whether it is corona or whether it is anything else, that is sure. So once you know that it is there, sooner or later, all what you can do is be as good as possible so that everything will perish, but that good thing you have done, you have made good karma, which will take you safely to the next world. That's all you can do. So at a time like this, you have to be very generous, very charitable, giving up all your bad habits. This is the time for you to resurrect yourself, because now death is at your doorstep. So what else can you do? So the king said, what can I do? Not my army, not my elephant, nobody can stop it. I just have to die. So I have nothing to think about. My whole kingdom will perish. And then I will only have the good karmic result left for me for the next world. So if people think that is the end, then of course they will worry about it. But if you think that is not the end, there is another rebirth, then you have to worry about the rebirth and not the death. Death you can't help, you just have to die sooner or later. But you can always structure your rebirth if you know how to live a proper life. So you have to apply the Dhamma in daily living as far as such things are possible, so that whether you die of corona or any other thing, you are well aware, you are not afraid. You have a better life waiting for you. So that is the kind of psychology you can apply for just for ordinary people. So if you have a higher sense, then you will take to the Dhamma in a big way and do your meditation and stop rebirth itself by becoming Arahant. These options are there for the human being. You can become Sotapatti, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihat. Then you have a better chance of stopping rebirth altogether. The problem is not death, the problem is rebirth. Death anyway is for sure. So we don't have to worry about death. Okay?
The pandemic has brought great suffering. It is becoming increasingly difficult to even maintain cordial relations with one's own family members due to mental, physical, and financial frustrations. How can one stay calm and minimize tension during this time?
This is true, because these living conditions have become so difficult. People don't have money, people don't have the facility to vote, and so they are restricted in every way, and it becomes really a mental problem. But you can change it to your advantage. For instance, every time you think of the problem, you say, it is a problem beyond my means, so forget it, cut it. I can't, why should I suffer? Because the outside is beyond my control. try to be equanimous about what is happening in the world. So you can cut yourself from thinking of the situation and turn it to your advantage and say, we are all living beings together and happy, free from pain and suffering, free from anger and hatred, free from enmity. May all live beings together and happy. So 100 times if you think of the COVID, you must stop it. And 100 times you have to think of loving kindness meditation. So the more you do loving kindness meditation, the less and less you will be frustrated about the outside world. On the other hand, you are making good merit and wishing them well as far as all things are possible. And also it gives you the habit of not only thinking loving kindness, but also expressing it by speech and action. So metta manokarme, vachikarme, kayakarme. That you must not only think metta, but you must speak metta, loving kindness in words. And do metta, that go out of the way to help people whenever they have a need. Try your maximum, a lot of metta to help them out. So, this loving kindness is invaluable to overcome the stress of today's COVID. Not only that, for us, we have more chance and time at our disposal because hardly anybody comes and goes to read and also to do some anapanasati. That is to see the in-breath and out-breath. For that you have to practice for a long time. So you must make use of the time that you have, which you would have previously wasted in the sense doing all kinds of going here and there and all. So now you can use your time judiciously. Have a nice timetable, get up at 4 o'clock, do some meditation, do some devotion, chant spirit, chant mostly the Mahanubhava Sampanna, Sapra Sutra, without fail, chant Sapra Sutra, share merit with the Lord, and then you can sit in meditation in Anapanasati or throughout the day. Don't allow your mind to go haywire just imagining all kinds of stupid things about COVID and other people and future and all that. What you do is you simply shut it. Because the Buddha says it is useless thinking about the past. The past is dead and gone. It will never come back again. And the future is not born. We don't know what is held for the future. So therefore we must try to live in the present moment. Be happy that you have something to eat. Be happy that you are so well off, whereas all the others are in terrible pain and distress. So we have to keep our mind calm, satisfied, and always speaking and thinking of something good, like good karma making, like practicing loving kindness, uddhana docha piriyancha, asamladana virana sapatta, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitat. So don't allow yourself to be a victim of your own mind, thinking of all the miseries of the world around. Don't even think of them because it is of no use. You cannot do anything. So it's a much better pastime for you for now and in the future. So I suppose the scientists must be working very hard trying to find some cure, but then it is not up to us. We cannot do those things. But we can do one thing, that is lead a very auspicious, good life. Keep all the precepts. Don't ever break a single precept. Be kind and generous. Not only must you not kill, you must support life. Not only must you not steal, you must share your bounty with others. Not only must you not sexually abuse, but live a normal life with the family. And not only must you not tell lies, speak the truth. Always speak the truth. And not only must you not slander, always try to bring people together and not get people against each other. So, and harsh speech. Never, not only must you avoid harsh speech, you must speak words that are easy on the ear, kind and gentle, so that people come round and help you in all activities. So be kind and courteous in your speech. And the actions also. Go out of the way to show your metta by doing certain jobs, whatever you can, so even small jobs, just to show that you are kind enough in your physical action also, you show it. So, metta manokarma cannot be seen, that is, the mind cannot be seen, but speech and action can be seen. Therefore, it's a great advantage at this time of the COVID to not to linger thinking about the past, future, and the world at large, but to correct your own thinking, to think skillfully, to think wholesomely. May all living beings be well and happy. So that's a meditation, or you take time off to do some ritual like chanting, faith, or you take some time to sit down and meditate, so that your time is well spent, and COVID time is the best time of your life, because you were never free to do any of those things before. Okay, so we make it to your advantage. Okay.